It's starting to look nice though. Yeah. Yeah. Right, evening guys. Out with the Rx10 this evening. I've got Dan down there, who's probably, well, because we've got the 360 thing, we can actually move the camera without moving the camera, which is really cool. Come down to Wilmington. So you've got the long man over there, behind the bushes there, which is like a chalk man. Carved back in 1700 and something, isn't it, or something? Probably.
I'll Google it and tell you.
Something like that. Anyway, so he's got the same drone as me, so the Mini 3 Pro from DJI, and cleverly forgot his camera. So I've lent him a battery, so he's been flying the drone around, and I think we're going to get some good light in a minute. So it's starting to head that way, isn't it?
Looking good. Looking really good.
Yeah. So I'm going to snap some shots with the Rx10. Because you like the idea, didn't you, of the fact that it's so usable for
portability for hiking and walking and just everything in one.
Yeah.
So I do.
So with some of the trips I've got coming up, I'm probably just going to go like that.
Yeah.
A bit like a Ghostbuster.
But these days, I think with the online content, you know, it's
and it's so usable, you know.
Yeah. Lugging big bags around, isn't it?
Absolutely. The fact that I can get in this bag, which is the AW140. You can get the Rx10, the Insta360, as many batteries as you fancy, in one bag, and then you've got the drone in the other, and it's literally so usable. Have a play.
Awesome.
I'm probably going to chuck the drone up shortly. Just need that, if that comes out the other side of the cloud, which it will, because it's actually really slow moving, isn't it?
It will come out though, it'll drop under, and it'll look like, I think all this is going to catch the light.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Really nice.
Yeah.
And I should have brought my camera.
Should have brought your camera. You know what to do next time, don't you? But we've all been there. It's not a case you've just forgot your SD card or the battery. I've not done. Who did that?
It. But the thing is, if I hadn't forgotten it, if I brought it with me, it'd be thick cloud right now.
Yeah, that's true. So you have done me a favour.
I've done you a favour.
Basically. So where did you start? How long ago?
Probably been taking photos for 10 years.
So how old are you now?
We
found out he was old.
2012.
We found out he's
36.
36. Okay,
right.
So you're literally 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So because I'm 46 this year.
Is that old? Hopefully not.
Apparently not. But you're as old as you feel, really, aren't you?
I went on honeymoon and I wanted to take some photos of my honeymoon.
And that's where you started. That's where you started.
I bought a camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So
what did you buy? What was your first camera?
I think it was a Nikon D3100. It was like really
so crop
sensor.
Yeah.
Quite basic.
That's
but
the
I had
thing.
a guide mode on it, so it allowed me to go into manual if I wanted to.
Oh, that's cool.
Now I shoot Nikon D850.
Which it's funny because so many people are obsessed. I mean, I can't really talk because I've got some of the best gear out there, luckily. But you know, you work hard, you buy what you want, don't you? But some people are obsessed. It's like the new phone, isn't it? Get the newest iPhone, get the newest this and the other. People are obsessed of thinking if they get the best of the best, it's going to make them a better
I keep
photographer.
looking at mirrorless, but I keep and yeah, it's great. But you kind of think at the end of the day, it's all about getting out and shooting, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
what you've got.
Some of the best shots I've ever taken are with that camera.
Yeah.
Because that's the most random thing ever. Ding!
Us know that.
Here comes the cyclist. Ding! Ding!
For context, he's miles away.
Yeah. And we got a bit of rays coming up the top there. So buying the best gear doesn't mean you're going to be the best. Obviously, it's going to help you hopefully get better, and obviously once you do, you've got the best kit already. But then people are like the D8. How long's the D850 been out? Quite a while, isn't it? It doesn't mean it's a crap camera, though, does it? I mean, you know, I started my digital sort of journey after going Nikon film into Konica Minolta, and that's when Sony purchased Konica Minolta, and that's where I got the silly deal with all the extra gear for not much money, and you know that's where I kind of started, but with the digital side of things. But like you say, a lot of the time now it's just being in the right place, right time.
The more you go out,
the
more you're going to.
And you don't need the best, fastest lenses out there, like you say, nifty 50, like that guy we were talking to.
Well, even things like lenses, you know, I have case lenses now, but people are obsessed with buying lenses. It's great, but you can bracket. So if you can't afford lenses, you can still create. You can still go out on a nice early misty morning, and you can just bracket the exposure.
Yeah.
And you get the same thing.
And like you say, as well. I mean, with the cameras today, the sensors today, even 360. You know, the dynamic range on it is pretty good.
Yeah.
So your dynamic range on these sensors now are mental.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you can pull up shadows that you'd think I couldn't do this 10 years ago, or 15 years ago. Even the RX10, we'll be able to pull up some of the information if we shoot a little bit silhouette. Yeah, I know, it's mad.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you can always put some of these into your video.
That's a good idea. So I've got my own personal photographer today. I don't even need to.
Don't
even need to take pictures.
No pressure here, Dan.
No. It better be good.
It's not my camera. I don't know how to use it.
Yeah. But yeah, because you were looking at possibly buying one, weren't you? As a
portable.
For
nights like tonight, really.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of times I want to go out and I think, I'll just take the camera. I don't want to take a big bag. I don't want to have to carry 4 or 5 lenses. You know, wide angle, zoom lens, or whatever. And it just weighs you down. One, that's a lot more not easy to use, but it's a lot less hassle.
Yeah.
Like tonight we've gone for a walk. I've carried 2 bags with me, which we weigh 1 kilo each. There's hardly anything. Where I would carry, if I bought the A1 with 200 or 600, 135, and a wide angle or something like that, I'll be about 6 kilos, I think, in total, plus the bag. So you'd be like,
I'm sure mine because it's the A50
comes
is like
down.
a tank. I think it's like my bag ends up weighing 10 kilos.
Yeah, I remember years ago, my friend Simon, we did some jobs in 2009 actually in London, and we loaded up our big bags with DSLR stuff then. I remember carrying those bags around London.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yeah. You know it.
You knew we walked 65 miles in a week, I think it was, like 5 days, walking around trying to get these shots for this hotel and for the artwork on the walls.
Yeah.
I remember my feet. I remember the next morning waking up thinking, this is what it's like to be an old person. And now I'm old.
Last year I took mine up the Isle of Skye and we climbed some great big hill.
Yeah.
And back. Just carrying
So
all that
you
stuff.
know about it.
You know about it. So
Yeah.
sometimes
Good way
to have something
fit.
like this
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah. If you can take less with you, the better, really. We know it's not a perfect camera because the perfect camera doesn't exist. I'm sure they could make it.
How does that saying go? The best camera you have is the one that you've got on you.
Absolutely, to a degree.
Unlike me, because I haven't got one.
He hasn't got one with him, yeah. But the amount of times I've seen people forget a battery, forget their memory card.
Yeah. That's frustrating.
I haven't seen people leave lens caps on for a long time. That's quite funny. That's one thing I don't use at all. All my lens caps are in the boxes. I take them off. I don't even use them. I leave the lens hoods on, and they fit in the bags like that.
Yeah.
Never scratch one.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a video on YouTube of me on the other RX10 that broke. I ended up trying to swap the front element because it went all misty.
Yeah.
I actually put it on the table and smacked the crap out of it to see how hard it was.
Right.
It took a lot.
Did it?
Well, it took me with an adjustable wrench just to go smack it. Eventually, it cracked. But they're strong, a lot stronger than you think.
Yeah. Don't put a filter on the front, like
no, I'm not using them for years. No, other than ND filters and stuff like that, or polarizers I might use occasionally, but no, other than that, no. That's starting to look rather nice.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
I think I should have brought my camera.
You kind of should have, really, shouldn't you? We can use that as well. I'll ping you some over.
Yeah, absolutely. We should.
You should look out for a second-hand one then.
I will.
Because no wear. Well, the wear and tear is in the lens, the zooming, everything else. Because half the time it's on just electronic shutter.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How old is it?
That one is less than a year old, but the camera came out in 2017.
So that's a replacement one. Viewfinder and that is quite.
It's not bad.
It's quite cool.
Yeah.
Considering the D850 doesn't have an electronic viewfinder.
No, that's probably DSLR still, isn't it? Yeah. We've got one little cloud.
I know, it's really annoying because we've got the rays coming out the top and the cloud's kind of blocking the light.
That's quite funny.
Just come on.
So I'm gonna pull the phone out now, and because considering I haven't got a camera, someone else is using it.
Do you want it?
No, it's fine. I'm taking the piss. We'll take a mobile phone picture.
That's what I was doing a minute ago.
Yeah. Which always looks overdone. It looks nothing like your eyesight.
No.
A bit over edited in camera.
You have some shots on that.
I'll take a couple of shots.
I'll use my Sony mobile phone to, it's all about the Sony today.
It's all about the branding.
Yeah.
Don't tell the i360 though.
No.
You'll get jealous.
Sorry.
You'll get jealous. Yeah, it's Plenty of flies around.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have been eaten alive.
But what a beautiful location. So we'll walk up this way in a bit. We're going to have a look at the Little Man.
Yep.
In fact, I was going to chuck the drone up, wasn't I? Do you want to carry on standing? Feel free.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I won't tread on it this time.
You might be able to fly it down and round and get some.
Yeah, fly it over.
Along there.
See
if I can get some different kind of shots here as well.
So I think with, especially camera gear, I mean, I have 100% wasted money on lenses over the years. I think everyone has. Huh?
I could have retired by now.
Yeah, same. I could have bought a McLaren probably.
Yeah.
On the money I've wasted, because you kind of buy what you think you need, and a lot of the time you don't actually need it, and you know, half the time, you know, it is a case of learn what you've got and get the best with it. You know, get better with what you own.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time that makes a huge difference.
Definitely, I think we all make that mistake when we start photography, don't we?
And
you
think
the
buying
gear and the latest stuff. But
yeah, absolutely. You know, I've got to point out, I bought the A1 because the A7R4 at the time wasn't working right with the 200 and 600, and I got fed up with it. So I ditched that and I bit the bullet. Basically, you know, it was. I got it from Panama's, which so it was 4,700 quid.
Yeah.
Instead of £6,500 over here.
That's a lot. It's a big difference.
It was a huge saving. Plus, it came with a 3-year warranty. So, you know, it was. Oh, I've got no GPS. Oh, I've only got 11.
I'm getting you some amazing photos.
There we go.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
There we go. Let's get rid of that, and you can actually hear us. Off she goes. Yeah, what were we talking about? About gear, weren't we?
Yeah.
So, yeah, having the best gear doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the best photographer. I mean, some of the most iconic photos out there were taken with an old film camera that was fully manual, and you know, they're not even that sharp a shots. They're half out of focus, because when you, especially portrait stuff, you know, I'm moving in and out. The model's probably moving as well. So half the time, you know, you end up with shots that aren't even that sharp, but it's actually all about the emotion and the, you know, what's actually happening in the photo that can make the difference of being amazing and being boring, you know. And I think
ICM is quite a popular sort of field of photography now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, I know that it's intentional, but it just goes to show that you can be more creative if you're not too worried about sharpness and stuff. Sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I've got a Nikon 105 f1.8 manual lens, which I've got on the Sony. I put it on the A1 the other day.
How does that work?
Very nicely, actually. Like I say, it's not the sharpest lens out there.
Yeah.
And to get it really sharp, you need to stop down to about f4. But it's really nice to use, and it's actually almost refreshing, because you know, you're having to work for the photos, and it slows you down as well. So, you know, it's a case of I've lost my drone. Oh, there it is. That's all right.
Where is it?
It's just in front of us. You know, yeah, it's just really nice to use something a bit different every now and again. And I was going to start using it for just teach people. So if people wanted to start photography, or they're a bit new to it, you know, I could put it on the A7R3, for example, and you know, you could teach someone about aperture, you could teach someone about getting manual focus, because it makes you work for that image. And it's so easy with the autofocus systems today, just to snap, 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 and you've got the shots.
Yeah.
And there's not really much input in it, and it's almost takes away the passion of it a little bit. And I found that when I went to North Wales, I did a photo shoot with a friend Jessica. We went up there for 2 days, And we stayed in this lovely place at the end of this lake, and yeah, that's where Mac Loop is. You know where those jets come through.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah, the Mac Loop, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll put a link in the description below, so if anybody wants to watch it, they can. It's not the best video because it's one of my early ones, but you know, it's
Always wanted to go there.
yeah, it's fantastic. I had the Samyang 135 f2, fully manual, actually really cheap. I think I paid like 240 quid for it, brand new, when it was released.
Yeah.
It's about 300 and something now. But absolutely fantastic, super sharp. And because on the Sonys you can push, like you can set a custom button up to zoom in. So basically you can set the, it will crop in on sensor, so you basically see what's in focus or not with the peaking as well. So you can actually have a look to what's in focus, which is really helpful. So it makes your life a little bit easier, but you're still putting that input in. And I remember Jessica saying, she said it's really quite nice because we're not rushing, we were much slower in it, and it was really quite cool. So that worked really nicely. I'll try and find the right spot for this. So is landscape your sort of best, your favourite?
I think so. I think that's what I enjoy, being out in the nature. Yeah, it's more about just being out walking and taking them,
just enjoying life,
enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
Then you kind of get to relive that moment because then you run it through your post processing or whatever it is you do.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you just keep reliving it and reliving it, and that's what I like. How are you getting on with the drone?
It's going sideways quite quickly at the minute.
You prefer this one, don't you?
Huh?
You prefer this drone?
Oh, I love it. It's such a...
Let's see if I can lock it on quickly. That's mad.
It is mad, isn't it? I'll take a couple of pictures with it, I suppose. Yeah. I find with that camera, it's such a... Because you can focus at 600mm, you can focus to 72 centimetres, so you can actually get quite close, like butterflies and things like that.
Yeah.
But you can stand relatively far back, and at 24mm, you can literally focus the end of the hood. So you've got so much range. Yeah. The only downside is in any sort of like 100 to 500, it's very, you have to be quite a long way away. It won't focus close at all, but each end does. Yeah. So it's amazing they could actually make it, you know, do that. It was absolutely incredible.
I mean, I'm impressed by that drone was flying across there pretty quick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I literally.
And it's not the light's not. It's going really red now.
Oh, that is mad.
Yeah. It's a stunning evening, and there's hardly a breeze at all, is there? That colour is immense. So oh, I forgot about that. I forget we can zoom, which is handy, isn't it?
Look at that. That's straight out the camera.
Hit the drone, yeah.
It's balanced it so nicely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I love the fact you can 2 times zoom on it.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Oh, lovely. This is the thing, you know, you come out an evening like this and be out here.
It's quite sociable.
You've got this camera.
Yeah.
You've got your drone and you've got the Insta. And that's all you really need.
I know, I've got enough.
And you're going to make probably a really cool video out of this.
Hopefully. You never know. It might be really interesting, it might be shit. Who knows? Right, let's go and find the long man. He's over there. So at the moment we're up there, right above us, looking over the hedges. If we zoom in, you should be able to see. Oh, there he is on the right. The people are still walking up there, you know.
Hi.
Yeah. I'm trying to aim the antenna up. I'll probably look a bit special looking at the screen like this. That's why I quite like the zooming on sensor, a bit like the cameras the Sonys can do.
Yeah.
You know, it's really handy. It's a handy sort of tool, really. You're literally just zooming on sensor. It actually gives you a really different viewpoint, which is really nice.
You're filming that now?
Yeah.
Can you see long man yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, lovely. Shame there's a couple of sunrise, but the sun coming up behind there because it's.
I want to fly up over it at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit scared. I want to see the view over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been a... One thing I'm really pleased about this thing, the Insta3, the battery lasts for ages. Like an hour?
Is it?
Yeah, easily, yeah.
That's mad.
But for something
And
that's
it's constantly
small,
recording, so it's yeah.
just sitting there.
It's mad.
Crazy that they're still selling like hotcakes, really. Obviously, the price has come down from 1,800 quid down to about 1,300 now, because obviously it's older. But you know, our Sony basically just trying to sell. All right, Mr. President. Our Sony trying to sell the stock out, so it gets, you know, they get rid of all the old stock, so then they can release a new one, or they're just not going to bother, or they're just going to keep making this until it's.
I suppose for them,
It's still the thing is, it's still a
demand.
fantastic camera,
Yeah.
and the only thing is it really could do is a bigger battery. Wish they could squeeze in there if they really want to. A bigger buffer and a faster writing speed. A bit more intelligent, faster autofocusing, but it's still impressive anyway.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but it's not as intelligent as the newer stuff.
Compared to my D850.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a bit of a DSLR killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, at the same time, you know, yeah. Image quality is questionable in some respects, especially in low light. As we get to, as the sun goes and stuff like that, it will be a bit more grainy. But at the same time, we've got the noise, denoise.
I want you to send me that one. Remember it.
Number 190.
190. Got me. You take a picture of the sun quickly before it's good.
That's quite good.
So it's all in one. It's not got interchangeable lenses at all, is it?
Nope.
Does that mean you don't get dusty sensors and
Nope.
things?
Yeah, it's completely.
Wouldn't it?
This is what the crazy thing is.
What's that?
That's just doorbell.
Oh.
Crazy thing is you can shoot at f4, 1/32,000th of a second shutter speed,
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
and see the sunspots,
Yeah, lovely. Wow. That's unbelievable.
which is absolutely nuts. But yeah, so the camera itself is like, you know, loads of people have bought this and they love it. Some people slag it off still because they seem to think it's not good enough and they think it's a lot of money for what it is, but they forget that what this camera can do and what it's got in it is pro level stuff, you know. And I think that's a huge thing. That, you know, that's the reason they even said that. I think in the original release, that they basically wanted a no compromise camera that basically anybody from pros to enthusiasts or whatever could pick up, take out for the day, and use it for everything from sports to wildlife to wide angle landscapes to whatever they could possibly want to do, and do it in a all-in-one situation. And they did it. Yeah, obviously technology has moved along. You know, it's a bit like the drones. What's that new? The new crazy drone?
Mavic 3 Sign, I think, isn't it?
Is it the 3 Pro?
Mavic 3 Pro.
I don't know. It's got 3 cameras
It's got
on it.
3 lenses,
So-
isn't it?
Yeah, so it's got 3 separate cameras on it.
Oh, that's unreal.
This is nuts.
Yeah.
You know, so technology keeps going forward, but it doesn't mean that you can't get good stuff with what you've already got. You know, I'm going to take a picture of a mobile phone now because I put the camera away.
Listen, it depends what you're doing for, doesn't it? 'Cause
Oh, absolutely. If you're doing massive printing, you're not going to use your phone.
If you're just out enjoying yourself, things like that are ideal.
It's you know, it's like the wide angle on the iPhone is nuts. You can get all that sky and a sunset. It's just great fun, you know. This i360, you know, I've got the GoPro. The GoPro is brilliant. Like, if I stick it on the back of my car and it's looking out the back, and where the rear wing goes up, it actually blocks out all the wind. So basically, you get this amazing sound at the back of the car.
Yeah.
Or if a motorbike or something's following, you can hear that.
Yeah.
So that works really well, and it's fixed. But this i360, now there's me and you in shot. Doesn't matter, and we've got the sunset as well.
You've got that as well. Yeah.
Because it's been recording for. But it's so cool because you can literally.
Look at that.
There it is.
Yeah. Hello. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But the fact you can swap it around and stuff. But for something you can, I've got the stick. I've got the little. That's what comes with this tripod. It's perfect for that. Just to put it on there, we can talk at sun now.
it came with the tripod, hasn't it? It's got a little tripod holding the bottom of the 360, is it?
That yeah.
So
So,
little
so you
things
can put anything on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
really good.
Look at that. You almost want to get a photo of the route in there. So, it's lovely.
If you had a camera, you'd probably take a picture, wouldn't you?
I would.
Because that sunset right now is pretty epic.
Pretty
to be
cool.
fair.
Shame we didn't time lapse or something.
Could have done. Well, this hasn't actually. That's only one thing this hasn't got is time lapse. But it has got. Those clouds are nuts.
The ones above the sun.
Yeah.
Amazing, aren't they?
Look at
Yeah, look at that. Lovely. Kind of.
that. Bit psychedelic.
I was thinking it's a bit Lion King-y,
Yeah.
you know. Awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I've enjoyed using it. Thank you.
It's-
for, letting us have a go.
fine. It's a handy camera, like you say, you can just take with you a day out. I mean, the amount of times I've gone and thought, I'd bother to take the rest of the stuff.
I'll tell you what, it's like, right, so in the summer I'll go down to Eastbourne Air Show.
Yeah. Oh, this is nuts.
Rather than taking all of my stuff and having to change lenses
Yeah.
and messing about.
Some of the best shots I've got from Eastbourne Air Show are with this. In one year, it was absolutely chucking it with rain. I shot all my stuff in the pissing rain with it as well. I got soaked. The camera got soaked.
Yeah.
You know, it was absolutely mental. So
Just convenient, isn't it?
Convenient,
If you're out with your
you've
partner
got-
and they're like, oh, you're not bringing your camera again, are you?
yeah,
Whereas that, they won't
yes,
mind because
yeah.
it's
In fact, surprised there's no swallows buzzing around down there. Wonder if, I mean, you must get barn owls and stuff like that.
yeah.
I don't know. Right, should we wander?
Yeah, if we're done.
We're pretty much done, aren't we?
Unless you're going to wait for the bar now.
No.
No? All right. Oh, I nearly forgot my drone.
Oh yeah, don't forget that. Oh, have the
Have you got your battery?
Oh yeah, but have the battery back.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything.
Could have got a 50 quid battery for free.
You find yourself blocked later because I think your battery. Nice one.
One. There we go. Be interesting to see what we got though. I mean, it was a nice sunset, but it wasn't that really that interesting. But a nice walk, nice catch up.
Oh, it's good, yeah, definitely. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Get a few of us out one evening.
Yeah.
Be quite nice. It's getting to that temperature now where we can stay out for late and then it's quite nice to get some stars and stuff. I saw some bloke did the Milky Way on Bodiam. I don't know if it's real.
Okay. What, recently?
Last night. Or
Oh,
they,
really?
they popped up today, the
Oh,
pictures.
wow.
So I need to have a look, see where it is. I'll be honest, if I look out tonight and it's clear and I look up,
Yeah.
it'll be in line with me.
Yeah, okay.
If it is, I know it's true. If it's over there, you know.
Done it once when it was right above the castle.
Yeah.
It was very early on in my photo days and it's probably not a very good photo. But it was quite impressive.
Well, saying that, some of my old pictures that I took maybe 15 years ago
Yeah.
on the earlier digitals, and we did a lot of, with the Konica Multiple stuff, and we did a lot of low light stuff at Bodiam
Yeah.
at night time, and some of the shots there I took were awesome. Yeah. I've never been able to replicate them, and it's weird because you're thinking, I'm using much better kit now.
Yeah. Why can't I?
Why can't I make them look that good? And I'm thinking, I think they're actually that good
Yeah.
that they don't look quite as realistic almost.
Yeah, I
you
know what
know?
you mean. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it, how things are. But yeah, what a nice walk. So, what's your Instagram? Is Daniel York Photography. Daniel York Photography. I'll put links in the description below. Go and check his stuff out. It's very, very good. You're doing reels now as well, aren't you? So he's doing like
Yeah,
he's
just
out on
doing
walks.
a few little reels. Just out with the dog.
Out with the dog,
Nice
man.
little,
You've been flying the drone as well, haven't you? You've got to track him.
I haven't done the tracking. keeps going, you need to be human. I'm thinking, well, what did I do?
I am human. What are you talking about? Yeah. Yeah, no.
But yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, so check his stuff out, give him a follow, and leave some comments on his pictures because they are very good.
Appreciate that.
It's do you know what I've appreciated? Well, I've given up work, and if anybody's watched my last video when I've given up my job, which I've been doing for many years, and at the moment I'm kind of just working on health, which is really, really funny because I then got ill again. So I think it's where I relaxed. But anyway, being out in places like this with friends is so much better than just being at the pub or something shit like that.
Absolutely.
I'd rather be out here, having a chat, trying to be creative. Doesn't matter what we're taking pictures of. I mean, we're studio at the moment talking to a 360 camera, so you know, it's so much more worthwhile.
Oh yeah, but you say that, but then the blokes in the pub are just cheering on the football, and they're literally talking to a TV.
Yeah.
So same thing, but it's just nicer, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's in nature.
Yeah, and we're out for a walk. We're being healthier.
Yeah.
You know, I know nothing wrong going to the pub at all. I'm not saying that at all, but you know, I'd rather be doing this and appreciating a bit of nature, and you know, we don't know how long we're going to live. I mean, you only have one life, don't you, at the end of the day?
Yeah.
And also, how long is it going to be like this for? You know, with us taking photos now and videos and things like that, you know, the next generation and the next generation after that, what happens if it all goes horrible and, you know, this is gone? This is just wasteland or under the sea again, I don't know. You know, it's all that, isn't it? We're sort of creating history or capturing history in the making.
We're lucky just to live in a nice area where
I couldn't
do
live in a
have all
city.
this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You just come up the road randomly, didn't we? Because I said, I'll meet you here.
Yeah.
And we've got, you know, the rapeseed fields over there, field of buttercups.
Yeah.
And what did you say this was? Wheat.
I think it's wheat. Looks like wheat.
Wheat field here, you know. I mean,
yeah.
Fantastic.
And then more rapeseed over there. But actually, there was one shot I couldn't stop earlier. There was one up on the beachy head, and it was all a load of cows in a buttercup field.
Yeah.
I was like, there was nowhere to stop. And it was literally, and they've blocked off half the car park, so you can't stop anywhere. So it was really nice.
Nice up there, though.
Yeah.
Again, so that's again where, you know, if you can find a car park down the road, and then you fly your drone back up, and you know,
that's where the drones are really good, because you can literally fly them across things.
You get shots that you wouldn't get.
Oh, absolutely, and an angle you can never.
Like here, I wouldn't walk across this field because it'd be disrespectful to the farmer.
Yeah,
but I can fly my drone across it and get the same shot.
You can walk across the walk down the tram lines. It's fine, but there is no cut across. Yeah. So like I've flown a drone 300 meters over there. You've thrown yours around.
The shots that we wouldn't have got tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, nothing's cheap. Obviously, it's a £1,000 drone. You know, in reality, with all the extra batteries and whatever. But you know, if you can make money some way down the line to get the money back on it,
especially just enjoy it.
Yeah, well, just enjoy it. You know, if you can afford to buy one. Yeah. And in fact, they don't even. I mean, you could buy a Mini 1 or the Mini SE, I think it's called now. Yeah. Which is hardly anything. It's hardly anything. It's like 200 quid, 200-300 pounds.
I figure, you know, gym membership's what, 50, 60 quid a month, and if this is what you enjoy doing, then within a year or 2 years, you've exactly
easily. The thing is, you know, everything's got a resale value as well. Your cameras, you know, you're always going to get 50% back. I think whatever happens, aren't you? You know, so you can't put a price on what you enjoy. I don't think. No, absolutely. And it's, you know, for me, I don't know if about one, it puts you in a good mood. So during lockdown, how many years ago now? 2 years ago? I don't know. Yeah. What, 2 years ago? Whatever. 2020, wasn't it? So 3 years ago. I helped probably 3 or 4 people online with depression and stuff like that, and it actually got them into photography. And it just having a focus, so literally getting out in the garden, going for a walk or whatever with a camera, and they were just snapping away. You can do that with your phone as well, but with a more dedicated piece of equipment like a camera, you can focus on stuff. You've got a lot more control, and they were learning. And it actually, I'm quite proud that it actually transformed a few people out of a bad situation, you know, and it's really good. And I feel really happy when I come to places like this. Yeah, you just feel it gives you so many endorphins. Yeah. You just, you know, we haven't walked a huge distance. We've probably done a mile or so. Yeah, but it's being outdoors, it's being creative. Yeah. Decent company. Up with people. Yeah. You know, it's great. Nice sunset. And it's a nice evening as well. If it was pouring just need a barbecue. Yeah. Did you not bring it? No, sorry. Oh, so this is why we don't hang out with chefs. No. Well, I'm not a chef anymore. I gave up. I should have been out with you a year ago. Yeah. No, it'll be. I quite like that sky. It's still quite pretty. It is quite cool. It's I don't think it's going to get any better. No, it's not. Definitely not. But yeah, no. What a nice evening. And I think definitely we're going to do some more of these. We'll get Dan back out. Do some different locations. Maybe some other people. You've got other people that you know. I've got other people I know. Yeah. If you're local to East Sussex, give us a shout. We could always meet up. Or Kent, East Sussex. You know, I don't mind a little drop. No, my throat is. I'm talking every now and again. But yeah, I don't mind meeting up with people. You know, if we're all doing the same sort of thing, it's always nice. We can all learn from each other. You know, I might have been doing it for years, but there's things you know that I don't know. Yeah. And as you've got. This is the thing. When I've been out with people, you can be stood 10 feet apart, and your pictures can be either identical or completely different. And you're like, wow, how come I didn't have that idea? And that's a huge thing. Really, really huge thing. you know, but it's cool about sharing it as well. So sharing it online, it's not about getting the likes. It's about just getting out there and seeing what people actually think. You know, I know some people are obsessed with TikTok things like likes. Yeah. Follow me for a like. I'm like, well, okay, whatever. But it's not about that.
I don't think you should do it for that. I think
no,
you should do it
because you love it.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. You know. But yeah, on that note, we're going to go home. Yeah, because I think we've running out of light.
It's going.
Yeah. The birds are even saying,
"Go home." It's night time, lads.
Yeah. Why are you still there? One thing I want to do with the drone is get some combining and stuff.
Yes.
The tractors and stuff like that.
The trouble is, we need to get in with a farmer.
I do know a contractor guy who does it.
Oh, do you? Okay.
So hopefully he'll let me know when they.
I've seen some really cool photos on a group on Facebook to do with the Mini 3 Pro, and there's a guy that does it, but he does it like a long exposure, but he gets the tractor sharp, but then everything else is blurred. And I haven't quite figured it out yet, but that would be cool to practice if you do happen to.
Wouldn't that be? He's probably tracking but having the slow shutter speed.
I think that's
so it's a bit like panning.
Yeah.
But he's actually following
he's doing it like 1/20th of a second.
Yeah, but he's probably following because he's following the tractor at the same speed. Yeah. It'd be like panning with a car, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
A bit of slow shutter speed. Never thought that.
So it's quite cool. It's quite cool.
No,
the effect is really good. So maybe in the summer when they do start combining and things, that might be a really cool project.
Yeah. Because we've got ND fields.
Yeah. So we can control the light. Which is great. Yeah.
That's cool. Right, on that note, guys, see you later. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, little notification bell as well. And I don't know why I'm pointing at you because I might actually have the camera that way. But catch you later.